My dream is to make it and be successful enough to live comfortably off of art, music, writing, and films that is authentic, and by working on it, it will be conducive to my emotional well-being and growth. This pursuit will foster inspiration with anyone I work with, catalyzing them to reach their dreams too. This journey will give me fulfillment, and I will give back to those who have helped me and be of service and charitable to my community. I'll accomplish this through patience and integrity and have a career of longevity and be true to myself. Hi, I'm Joanna Glass from the rock band Glasspirits. Hi and welcome. I'll start off right away by letting you know that I won't be going over any philosophies or basic mechanics about the bullet journal. There's plenty of videos on the internet and I'll leave a link up here. Instead, this video will talk about specific spreads, which are dedicated pages in the bullet journal that have an intended purpose. So the things you'll need are a journal and a pen. I use an A5 size journal and it has dotted grid paper and a pen, but that's all you need is a journal and a pen. I like to use highlighters. They're pretty affordable. You can get them at the dollar store or Daiso, and especially if you don't consider yourself to be artistic, it's an easy way to just add a splash of color to your bujo. So I'm going to have a lot of different spreads. Some might be helpful and others might not be so helpful. So don't feel obligated to try all of these spreads. Just pick a couple that you find interesting that you might want to try out as long as they're helpful to you. I'm going to timestamp the individual spreads, so if you don't have time to watch the whole video, that's fine. Just go ahead and check the description below to check out the spread that you're interested in. I'll also be releasing smaller chunks of this video so certain topics can be found on the internet. So 2021 is my second year of bullet journaling, and I hope these pages are going to be more refined and more useful to me. Okay, so here is my 2021 bullet journal. Alright, so I believe I got this from SaturdayGift.com. I'll leave a link in the description, and then I just I printed it, I cut it up, and I pasted it on here. And by the way, try not to use school glue because it's quite thick and it crinkles up the paper, so I highly suggest just using glue stick. Okay. Alright, so this is my index. I put I organized it by categories. So I have my personal pages, and then I have my music collections, and then I'm going to index my dailies because maybe I'll come up with a brilliant idea about something and I want to refer to it, and so I'll refer to this page instead of just adding a bunch of flags, because I know myself I'll end up with just tons of flags on the side if I do that. Alright, so we'll go ahead and go to the music collections. Alright, and I'll start off with just talking about my dream. Just one way to just put it out into the universe. Okay. My dream is to make it and be successful enough to live comfortably off of art, music, writing, and films that is authentic, and by working on it, it will be conducive to my emotional well-being and growth. This pursuit will foster inspiration with anyone I work with, catalyzing them to reach their dreams too. This journey will give me fulfillment, and I will give back to those who have helped me and be of service and charitable to my community. I'll accomplish this through patience and integrity and have a career of longevity and be true to myself. Alright, and so now I have here a quote that I found to be really inspirational, because the music industry has been so disruptive with all these new technologies and things that are changing all the time. And so sometimes as an artist, you're left wondering, what do I do? How do I go about this? Things are always changing and evolving. And so I like to keep in mind this quote from Savielly Tartakower. Oh, I hope I said that right. Tactics is what you do when there's something to do. Strategy is what you do when there's nothing to do. And I just thought that was really interesting because especially in the music industry, for the unsigned artists, we have to be strategists because we have to be really creative and find ways where we can find success and survive. Okay, and so here are some quotes that I find inspirational. I guess I'll just read them. Okay, so and I guess I'm paraphrasing a couple of them. No matter what you do, there will always be someone who doesn't like it, so you might as well just do what you want. And that's from Tatiana de Maria. This is from Jim from Jimmy Eat World. Don't use goals to measure your sense of worth from imaginary progress. And then I responded to that. Instead, find a balance between knowing what you want to do and accepting whatever reality comes your way. Okay. Community is everything, and fostering trust in each other is everything. That's from Dave Chappelle. And lastly, the stock market will fail you, people will fail you, but music will never fail you. All right, so yeah, I have a spread that focuses on musicianship, because I play the guitar, violin, keyboard, and I sing. I want to make sure that I am working towards certain goals to improve my musicianship. And the same thing with songwriting as well. I want to make sure that I'm writing a certain amount of songs per year. Okay. Here is a spread where I talk about why I want to do music. This is different from what my dream is. Okay, so why music? Why am I pursuing music? Because I'm capable. No one else can write these songs. Other people who are suffering can hear our music and feel less lonely. I can finally surround myself with talented, hardworking individuals who are like-minded and understand me. I might be great at other industries, but in music, I can shine and fulfill my potential as a human. And because I deserve it. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, so these are band accomplishments and goals. So these are kind of like stepping stones, so of goals that we have. Yeah, so then I put some goals. They're on like little flags, just in case we have to kind of change things up. Okay, like with any partnership or rock band, there's going to be some conflicts because people are people. So it's good to have a protocol of, if you get in an argument, like, what are you going to do? What are the steps? Okay, we're going to allow each other to cool off, then call each other. Abe and I have been in a band for 6 years, so we're learning, or we have learned a lot about each other. So it's been a really interesting journey. So for anything that we want to talk about and there's conflict, we reach an understanding, and we just have developed a good practice of just saying sorry right away. There's a lot of piece that goes with both sides just saying sorry. I know it sounds really simple, but it goes a long way. Now, I think it's really important to think of an exit strategy. I don't know if I'm going to live until I'm 100, but that day will come. And then I just got to think about, you know, how I want to live kind of like the last days. Sorry if that sounds morbid, but, you know, I do want to think about that and how that ties in with the music business. Okay, and so here I'm gonna kind of put some like rules about the band. So I kind of like made a little 10 Commandments tablet, and then I made a scroll here of our band's mission statement, and this is where I'm going to write some things down. Okay, and so it's good to have some roles within your bandmates. Abe has a lot of strengths that are very specific to him, and I have strengths and things that I bring to the table too. So I'm going to just write these things down just because it's good to remind ourselves that we're different people, and that I should only be doing certain things. Like, I'm going to be someone who focuses on technology, and Abe is really good on the phone and really good with people, so that's where his strength lies. Okay, and so now here is a spread on time management, and I was going to do like progress bars and, you know, some other kind of grids, but I just made it really simple for myself that basically whatever, there's things that are going to take a long time to do, and things that are not as long to do, and then things that are more short term, which are the flagship products and the campaigns to launch those flagship products. So in our case, that would be like a documentary, a music video. And then there's the auxiliary products that kind of help builds history, authority, and momentum. So that's smaller content. That's content that helps people get attracted to you, your brand, or your business. Okay, and then this kind of blends in with auxiliary products, but you need a vehicle to transport the auxiliary products and the flagship products. So you can't launch a huge music video if you have 2 Instagram followers. You need to build up your social media and following or fan base, so when you do come out with something, then it spreads to a lot of people and they reshare it. And so yeah, but it will only work, having a big fan base will only work if those fans are authentic. Okay. Alright, so this is a different future log that I did for the band. And then I'm going to have, I don't know where my other ones are, I'm going to have different post-it flags where I can just put certain things, the dates, in the months that certain projects will be launching. And so, yeah, because I know with the pandemic, things are just changing, and things are just constantly being pushed back. And so at least this allows me to be flexible and not seeing a whole bunch of stuff crossed out. Even if I do cross things out, that's fine. But yeah, I think these flags are a good solution for this. Okay, and so I kind of mapped out our online presence, websites, accounts, and things that we have. Where would we make our money? Where are our videos going? Where are they being shared? How are we connecting to Spotify? How are we connecting to YouTube and Facebook? And so yeah, it's good that we have this for our band, that I'm thinking about the overall picture. Are our actions going to be eventually helping our online presence? Okay, I need to elaborate on this more, but I think it's very important to think about, how are people going to find you? How are people going to discover you? There's different types of searches, and sometimes people stumble upon your work, and sometimes people have to search for it when they already know your name. But what are you going to do when they don't know your name yet? So you have to be discovered. All right, so this is a list of the songs that we've already come out with. Okay, this is just kind of like an extra page for our music video. I'm gonna put here some ways that we're going to promote this music video, and same thing with our other music video, Mexican Baby. Now we have a live video that's coming up, and there's going to be some things that I need to do to finish that up. Okay. All right, so then, as you might know, we have our Pepe and Ybra YouTube channel. Here I'm going to put our ideas, and then here, this is a progress bar for both channels that we have, Pepe and Ybra, and our Glasspirits band music channel. This is a progress bar because our goal is to get to 100 videos for each of these channels. There's a really great video about getting to your first 100 videos by Roberto Blake. I'll put that up there. Okay, so then there's certain companies that we endorse. I gotta fill this out. I think it's a good idea to come up with ideas to work with these companies and do some cross promotion. Okay, and so now we have this spread for press. There's going to be blogs that are important because they can link to your music video or your Spotify, and then there's papers too. Those get wide circulation. Okay. All right, and so here are websites that we appear in. Here's our main website. We have a store. We have a links channel, or we just have like a landing page for links. We have a record label that we're a part of, and then we have like other websites that we're trying to launch, and then we have our EPK. So I'm just going to take notes of things to do. Most of these websites are pretty much done. I'm just going to add whatever updates I need to do, or whatever ideas I think will help. Okay, I have this page for Spotify. You know, things I kind of printed things out because it was just easy for me to do that and add them instead of include like an ugly list, because all these screenshots were on my phone. I wanted to clear up my phone and not be on my phone so much, so that was nice to just put this on here and deal with it then. Now for our social media, we have this thing where we're trying to get to 10,000 followers, so I'm calling it Road to 10,000. And so we have one for Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Sadly, I think Facebook is going to be getting rid of their likes, but they will have follows instead. So I have to check into that and see. But yeah, and then I just left another column blank just in case there's another account or outlet that we have to kind of keep track of. Last year, I put a lot of habit trackers in my bullet journal, which I just did not care to use. I know a lot of people find them helpful because it does feel good to check a box 10 times in a row and feel really consistent. And if you like them and you're working on social media, you can do something like follow 50 people a week on Instagram, or write 10 meaningful comments a week on Instagram, or make 1 friend a day on Facebook. And also I had different project goals from last year because I, or my bandmate and I, collectively accomplished a lot of things, and so of course this year we're going to have new goals. Okay, and so radio is very important, that we have our songs played on the radio. There is public radio, college radio, community radio. I mean, that's like public, but maybe just like a smaller local radio station. And then there's also satellite. A lot of times, I'm not talking about like Sirius. Well, I mean, that would be like really cool to be on there, but there's also like internet satellite radio as well, and there's also just internet radio. Okay, and then here's venues. So there's physical venues. We won't be playing physical venues anytime soon, depending on the restrictions that we have. And then we have online venues, or places that we can play, and then maybe they can just live stream our performance, and we can do our own live streams as well. So we have to set that up. Okay, so then we came out with a 2021 calendar. I have to take note of, we sold out, by the way. I have to take note of what we've sold. And next year, we're going to be launching it earlier. This was more of like a last minute thing. I'm going to put down when our photo shoot will be for this calendar. I think it would be great to have specific photos just for the calendar. Okay, and then here is a spread for our merch. Here are the different sizes, and then I'm gonna have like little pictures of our designs of our t-shirts. I've left a little space here just in case we want other different merch. I don't know if keychains or stickers are helpful, but I'm not sure, so I just left that blank. Okay, so yeah, here's our other thing, our Patreon. We want to have 100 supporters. So yeah, here's our progress bar, road to 100 supporters. And then I'm going to put ideas for our Patreon of what exclusive content we want to put. If you want more info about our Patreon, we're going to have an announcement, or I'll just link a video up there, I think. Okay, fan retention. How are we communicating with our fans? At gigs? So we should have a plan. Are we posting a picture, tagging them on Facebook or Instagram? I need to work on our newsletter. So there's all kinds of ways you can keep in touch with your fans. They are the ones who are going to be supporting you, who are going to join your Patreon. Okay, and then so it's good to have and think about employees. It would be my dream to have a social media manager, a video editor, a videographer. But sometimes I think for now we might shoot something and maybe hopefully in the future hire a video editor. But yeah, in the future it would be good to have all these people. I'm putting temp because I think maybe we could hire someone for to run our campaigns. For gigs, there should be someone at the merch table who's there while we're playing. And then roadies. Yeah, roadies are the ones who help us with our gear, help us with setup, and yeah, that's really important. And here I'm going to put, our manager, our lawyer, all that stuff. All right, and so here I have a gig pack list. I have 3 kind of categories. We have acoustic gigs, we have electric gigs, and then I put here kind of like a downsized version of the electric gigs, because sometimes we play smaller stages, or we're in a a radio station, which is quite small. So it depends what situation we're in where we can't bring the whole shebang. Okay, so on this column, I put all of our instruments, my instruments, Abe's instruments, and also stuff that we need for our merch table. We should always be bringing our CDs, t-shirts, our business cards, a mailing list, the Square reader so we can accept a credit card payment, and a banner with a stand and snacks and water. I feel like that's also really important to have where we're on a time crunch. We have to set up, but we don't have time to go out and get a full meal. I mean, Abe and I don't like having big meals before we play anyway, but sometimes it helps to have a meal bar so we're not too hungry. Okay, and then we have a wish list of things, when there is a budget and we have some extra funds, that would be really helpful to have. For example, some guitar repair tools. I'm thinking it would be good to have a small toolbox of tools to help repair drums and our guitars. I would really like to invest in bass pedals in the future. I would like to learn how to play the guitar. And having an extra keyboard might be helpful too. Okay, and so there's some studio equipment that we can always use, and it's in my previous bullet journal, and so I'm just going to transfer some of those ideas here. In the future, it would be nice to have a sewing machine because I like to make our band's costumes, and I think they're really fun to do, and so it would be nice to get a sewing machine just for our band. This is quite a dream, but it would be nice to have a tour bus. I know most bands rent something, but it would be nice to check it out and maybe have a bus. So that's kind of like a pipe dream. Okay, and in terms of care, I already mentioned healthy snacks, and it's good to also have a first aid kit. We should have a first aid kit. I have one in my car, but yeah, let me see, because this is going into our studio. So we're in the process of planning our multi-purpose studio. I know I called this a warehouse, but the more I talk to Abe, the more he's getting really into it, and I'm really excited because this is a game changer for us if we can get this done. I know things are hard this year. We're not able to meet in person because of the pandemic. We're being really careful, but we do talk almost every day, and we discuss these plans. And so this studio is going to have many purposes. It's going to be a deck. It's going to be a place where we can have photo shoots. We can do our podcasts. We can do more interviews of our documentary. We can have rehearsal there, hopefully be a recording studio with a control room, maybe a theater to premiere music videos and documentaries, and hopefully we can shoot music videos there and have live performances. All right, so there's going to be a lot to do, but I am going to be I know I'm going to be kind of scribbling out and working things out during the dailies. So I think what I'll do is I might have a couple things I refer to, and then just tell myself what page number to go to. All right, and so our band will have our own finances. It should always be separate from your personal finances. Okay, so then I'm going to keep track of what's in our bank accounts, what's in our what's up with our Venmo, things like that. Okay, and then also there's things to consider for business. some legal things to keep your business operational. Taxes, make sure you're paying your taxes. I got to keep my tabs on publishing, and then also I think I had like a team member thing section, but I think I'll put here like business advisors, and then we'll put our lawyer's name here again. Okay, and so we're also working on a documentary, and so there's elements in the documentary like the interviews. I need to make visuals, motion graphics, and then story elements that I need to consider. I mean, the documentary is going to be based on true things, but they do need to hit some emotional points, not in terms of being over dramatic or anything like that, but there does need to be an emotional structure to it so it can be impactful. Anyways, that's another video. All right, and so I've always talked to Abe about doing a book and audiobook. I think that would be really fun for us to do. And then this section is going to be about our documentary and album release advertisements. So we're going to kind of do a dual campaign on that. So I left this blank because I still need to figure that out. We're now going to take a break for a quick announcement. You want to see us live? Well, track us on bandsintown.com. If you like our content, subscribe, like, and comment. You know the deal. You can also support us on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. What is Patreon? Patreon is a platform that allows fans to support creators. You can donate a certain amount per month, 1, 3, 5, 7, 10, so we can have a consistent and sustained way of bringing music to you. Depending on what tier, which is the level that you feel comfortable supporting us at, you'll have either early access to merch, future music, or concert tickets, or exclusives like live video and behind the scenes footage that won't be available on our public platforms. In the meantime, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Twitter. We're on all these platforms to make it easy for you to communicate with us. There will be a link in the bio or a video description or comments. Now back to the show. Okay, and so this is a posting flow chart. So basically, this is making it efficient for me to create a piece of content, create the longest version that I want, if it's going to be more than 15 minutes, onto YouTube. Here are some requirements for it. Okay, and then from that, then I make certain modifications to it. I chop it up so it can either go into TikTok, which is a minute, but I always just put, to be safe, make it 59 seconds, just so I know that I'm within those restraints. Then I have Instagram, so then there's IGTV and stories. So the stories link up through the swipe to the IGTV video. So then I'm always making sure I'm coming up with the content and modifying it in a way so I can just do everything in one go. I'm considering, reels, so I'm putting all the requirements for each of these kind of tools. And then there's also Facebook. Facebook owns Instagram, so these things are connected. IGTV goes into Facebook Watch, stories on Instagram goes into stories in Facebook. Okay, and then when I make the smaller pieces of content, then I can make a YouTube teaser that's 8x10, and that's under a minute. Okay. All right, so then it's good for me to remember what boundaries or what ratios I need to have some of this media. For example, is it here? Okay. Yeah, so For IGTV, the actual video is going to be 1080 by 1920. However, the preview is, I believe, 1080 by 1350-ish, I believe. And so it's a reminder for me to not put the text outside of the preview. Because that's happened a couple times and that's really annoying. Okay, so yeah, oh, here it is. Here are the ratios. So the profile grid is 1 by 1. So these are just things to consider when you're making an IGTV product or video. The preview is 8 by 10. The video is 9 by 16, and the actual cover of the video is 2 by 3-ish. And yeah, so these are things to consider so nothing gets covered up and everything looks good. Now here is my Instagram profile grid. I'm just going to make sure that our band has a variety of different things, a variety of faces, so that way there's just not like 4 drum pictures, and that there's a certain balance and that it's aesthetically pleasing. It doesn't take a lot of effort to just plan what pictures that you want to put up. Okay, and then here's a spread on planning live stream and collaboration, what ratios I want. I have to put things in for Facebook mobile. I have to set my OBS to 808 by 1440, the output of the video. Abe and I are going to be doing some reaction videos and collaboration videos, so I am giving myself directions on how it's going to be filmed through social distancing. Okay, and then we're going to be having a recording studio with a control room, which is going to be part of the multi-purpose room that I talked about earlier. I pretty much have recorded our band for a few things already, so I'm pretty comfortable. But one day when I have extra time, I'll draw up a studio diagram, which will be fun. So it'll definitely appear in the 2021 flip through. Okay, so here I have this idea of just going global, and I think it's really cool that Abe is Cuban and he is a fluent Spanish speaker, and then I know a little bit of Spanish and a little bit of Tagalog, and just barely some Korean, and so I'm learning also Arabic and French. So we just have this idea of just eventually putting up a couple videos out there that we're greeting people in different languages. I think that's a nice thing to do, and I always think it's really neat when famous people or celebrities know other languages. Okay, so I like to make our band's costumes, but in the future I might get too busy to do that, so I think it's really important that we know what our sizes are. We are going to write down our height, our shoe size, and eventually we got to probably tell a tailor or a costume person what our shirt and pant sizes are as well. Okay, and then here's a spread on things that we prefer when we play a gig. For example, we want to play first. We want to make sure that there's a staging area for Abe to set up his drums. And then certain things I prefer, I don't like strobe lights. I find them to be really annoying. And then Abe doesn't like risers. He has a pretty big drum set, but a riser puts him behind me, and we like to play side by side. And then when it comes to other bands, we just always just try to check out the other bands and make sure they fit, because sometimes promoters like to mix things up, but I think it's better when you have when you're playing with bands in a similar genre as you. Okay, so here's a cover song checklist. So Abe and I want to do a bunch of covers, and we need to make sure that they're going to be cleared, and YouTube has a form where you can type in the song and make sure it's okay to cover it. Otherwise, you can work so hard to cover a song and record it, and you put it up on YouTube and it's blocked either in some countries or just blocked all over the world, and that's gonna really suck. And so once that's cleared, we can go ahead and buy a license, and then this section is just to for me to take notes of what type of cover it's going to be, if it's going to be acoustic, full electric, maybe a medley or mashup, I don't know. So we'll see. We've got to populate this list first. Okay, so then we have all these video ideas. We have a couple channels, and so I didn't separate this by our YouTube channels. It just depends what these end up going to, because maybe they'll just be for TikTok or Instagram or Facebook. So yes, these videos can go anywhere, but yeah, so we have band tips, we have our online presence show, we're gonna do reactions, there's an artist to artist series that we're going to come out with, and then industry advice as well. Okay, and then so we also discussed talking about our top 10 favorites. Okay, and then Abe agreed to do some band stories. He's been on tour a couple times, and he's had all kinds of crazy stories from when he was on the road. Let me see here. Behind Strange. Okay, so this is stories behind Strangelove, stories behind Mexican Baby, and so forth. Okay, and so here's just a track listing of our album. And then I guess when we come out with more videos and remixes, these pages are dedicated to brainstorming those and talking about those. And that's it. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Please leave a comment and let us know what you think. Are you a musician, content creator, or overall creative person? Let us know how you're using your journal, and please share this video with anyone you think might be interested in starting a bullet journal. And don't forget to like and subscribe. That's really going to help a small channel like ours. Thank you so much. But wait, there's more. Go ahead and click on the video below to hop to the next part or to the related video. Or if you're eager to check out my band Glasspirits' music, go to the videos here.
There'll be time